Hello and welcome back to Blue Trail Range, New England's largest public shooting range. My name is Patrick. We're back out here on our private range today, and we're coming to you with the topic of red dots. What are they? What are they good for? What are they not good for? Who would I recommend them to, and who wouldn't I recommend them to? So just a brief kind of recap. I do not have any sort of law enforcement or military background or any formal training of that sort. I am an NRA certified basic pistol and rifle instructor, as well as a range safety officer. I have owned and used firearms for the better part of 6 years. I'm also an avid, although not great, hunter. And so that's my background with this topic. I spent the first few years of carrying for self-defense every day without having a red dot, and I've spent the latter few years carrying with a red dot on my EDC pistol. So I'm going to break down exactly, who I would recommend it to, who I wouldn't, the pros, the cons, and things like that. So to start off with, if you are just getting into firearms, you're going to be purchasing your first pistol, you're looking to carry for self-defense, this is the first one you're going to, I wouldn't recommend starting with a red dot. Now, we'll get back to that at the end of this video, but it's generally recommended for beginners first getting into shooting pistols, specifically to learn on iron sights. You want to get the fundamentals of how to acquire, line up, and shoot well with iron sights. A lot of people, whether beginners in shooting in general or just getting into red dots, they can find it difficult to find the red dot quickly. You often see a lot of people when they're first using a red dot, they pointing up and down and left to right because they haven't gotten down how to present their firearm, see that red dot. Now, in a range scenario, that's not really an issue. You can just get used to it. But in a self-defense scenario, if you can't find your sights, you can't shoot accurately, and not only could you not stop the threat, but you could potentially shoot, people or areas where you should not or did not intend to shoot. So that's one of the reasons why, as well as for a lot of people getting their first firearm, buying a red dot on top of their pistol is just out of the budget. And, on the cheaper end of reliable red dots in the Hollow Sun area, it's going to be at least another $300, not even getting into the even higher end ones. And second of all, they're just not necessary for self-defense. While people do choose to get red dots for self-defense, they are absolutely not necessary for self-defense. People have been carrying pistols with iron sights on them for a few hundred years, and they have been able to safely and accurately protect themselves. Red dots have only really gotten popular for self-defense carry scenarios in the last probably 10, 15 years max, but really in the last 10 years have they blown up in popularity for self-defense carry. And it's just not necessary. It can be a great addition, and we'll get into that in just a second, but they're not necessary for self-defense. You can be just as protected carrying your pistol with iron sights. One area where a lot of people get into red dots early on is competition. Now, not all competitions allow you to shoot with a red dot, but in competitions where you are allowed to, many competitors find that using that red dot, once they practice with it, they can acquire that dot more quickly and more efficiently and acquire follow-up shots faster while using the red dot. And that's the big thing with red dots, and it's not even necessarily a drawback, just in anything with firearms, is they take a lot of practice. Red dots, debatably, for self-defense might take a little more practice for you to be able to acquire that sight quickly and accurately. So a competition or a range scenario is a great place to get your foot in the door, get a cheap red dot on a cheap 22, shoot a whole bunch with it. Here at Blue Trail, you cannot present from the holster to shoot, but you can start at the low ready and practice acquiring that red dot and shooting. And no better way to do it than with a cheap red dot on a cheap 22, so you can shoot for hours and hours and not break the bank. And that leads into the self-defense applications. So if you are proficient with your iron sights and comfortable, and you want to take that next step up into speed and accuracy in follow-up shots, a red dot can be a great option for that. With that being said, when you first transition to a red dot, don't start carrying it immediately. I would recommend practicing for weeks, maybe months before you ever start carrying that on your person for self-defense. You want to make sure that you know what you're carrying, you know how to use what you're carrying, and you can use it safely and accurately if, God forbid, you ever need to. So starting at the range or in competition is a great stepping stone to then carrying for self-defense. Going back to the beginning of the video, if you are looking to buy your first firearm, your first handgun to carry for self-defense or just for the range, while I wouldn't recommend immediately starting to carry a red dot, a great option, which I would encourage you to do so if you can afford to spend a little bit more, is getting an optic ready pistol. So an optics ready pistol, the slide of the pistol is already milled out and either comes with mounting plates, or you have the option to buy mounting plates to, at a later date, mount a red dot on your pistol. I think that's a great option for beginners. I wish I had done that when I first bought my pistol. My first pistol was a P365, the micro compact, and at that time they weren't coming standard optics ready. A few years later down the line, I ended up stepping up to the P365 XL, and at that point they were coming optics ready, and they ended up mounting a Holosun 507K on my P365 XL. They now call it the P365X if you're looking for the same model. I really like that firearm, and I really like that Holosun red dot. It has a multi-reticle system. You can choose just a dot, you can choose just a circle, or you can choose a circle dot as well. They come in both red and green options. We have a bunch of different Holosun pistol red dots for sale in the gun store. Those are a great option for when you are looking to add a red dot onto not just your carry pistol, but competition or just range pistol. Along with that, there are a lot of manufacturers now coming out with optics ready pistol combinations. SIG has been doing this for years on their P320s and 365s with their Romeo and Romeo Pro red dots. Glock just announced at this last SHOT Show their collaboration with Aimpoint, and you can get the 43, 48, 19, and many more with their Aimpoint fully enclosed reticle red dot on the pistol standard. It is cheaper than buying the pistol and the red dot separately, so if that's what you're looking for, it's a great option. Along with that, the new Springfield Hellcat Pro comes with the Viridian red dot. We have those for sale in the gun store as well. Those are flying off the shelf right now. And then Smith & Wesson, you can get optics ready, and you can also find, although less often, you can find them with optics mounted on them as well. Now, with the specific type of red dot you're looking for, there are a lot of different options, which we're not going to go into too much detail with today. Most of them are just a red dot. It is a laser which emits generally a dot onto the front glass. You can get them in red or green, up to your personal preference. Like I said with the Holosuns, there are other types of reticles available. The Holosuns give you multiple different options in the same red dot, but different optics can give you different reticles. You can also find a fully enclosed emitter. So like I just mentioned with the aim points coming on the new Glocks, it is a fully enclosed reticle. You can also find that in Holosun, Trijicon, and many other red dot manufacturers as well. But what that's going to allow you to do, while it does have a larger profile, the emitter itself is fully enclosed, so no dirt and debris can get in front of that laser projecting your reticle. Now, I carry an open emitter red dot, and I do often have to spray with a little compressed air, get some lint out of there, because I do carry it on my person every single day. And those fully enclosed emitters, you don't have to worry about that because they are fully weather sealed and no dust or debris is going to get in front of that laser. So that's it for today. Just a quick video of me rambling about red dots. Let me know your opinion about red dots in the comments below. Drop a like if you like what you heard today. Let me know what you think we should talk about next. Be sure to subscribe to see more content coming out to you shortly, and I'll see you guys on the next video.